What's up guys, Marten here. So we just started a new crypto week after a mixed weekend, and we're currently making new yearly lows here for some cryptos. So in this video session we'll analyze what's happening with Ethereum and EOS. So let's get started first with the total altcoin market. This is what has happened the last 3 months here. And during the weekend here, we can see that we did go up to around $64 billion mark, but then we peaked out, and we've since then dropped here down to around 58 billion at the moment. So we did lose this support we had here around 60 billion, and there is minor support down at around 55 billion, so it's likely that we'll head down to at least 55 next. So let's look at a weekly chart for Ethereum. Ethereum was actually unchanged here for the last week, and we formed this doji sign, this plus sign here, which usually indicates that we might be at a directional change, but it does not look like that at the moment here, since we've made a very negative move here to the downside in the beginning of this week. The last low here 2 weeks ago, that was at $98 during this week, and if we were to take out 98 to the downside, we'll likely head down to at least 90, which is some support we do have in this area. And that is back from May of 2017. But let's look at a daily chart for Ethereum. So what happened here was that we did form this very negative candlestick, and we did break out here from the support we've had here for at least a week. And now we're clearly on our way here to make a new bottom attempt here around 98. And Ethereum is right now down 7%. And the RSI is once again below 30, as you can see down here. We've been above it a little bit during the weekend, but now we're back down again. And also look here at the volume. We also have had a volume breakout to the upside, and in this case a negative breakout. So we had a descending trend line for the last 10 days here. So we can see here that we did shoot up today, and we still have 5 more hours to trade here on this Monday. And also the rest of the big cryptos here, look at these. Many of the cryptos are down between 7 and 10%. The worst performer right now is Dash, down 10.5%. Now let's look at the 8-hour chart for Ethereum. This is where I went short here on Ethereum. As soon as we lost this supporting trend line, and we did get a close here below the 20 EMA here, the green line. That was my entry point. So I followed down here, and I've now exited this trade in the short term. So I'll be looking for another entry point later on here. But we almost touched this lower Bollinger Band here, and there is some minor support around 105 in this area where we currently are. Now let's have a look here on EOS. EOS ended 16% down here last week. So this is the candlestick. So that's obviously very negative, and we've continued down here. We're down another 10% for this current week here. So it does look very bearish here for EOS. And we did lose the support we had here around 285. So I'm now looking at the more perhaps stable support down at $2 down in this area. So we could head down there to $2 from the current level around 258. So that is feasible here. Let's move over to the daily short for US. And we are still inside of this trading channel here, this negative move we've had for many weeks now. And it's kind of hard to tell exactly where we're headed next in the near term. But if we were following this lower trading channel, we'll likely head down here to 235 next, which is down here in this area. And we do have the same story here in terms of volume, descending volume here for about 10 days. But today we shut up here, so we did break out to the upside in terms of volume. And if we look at the RSI, the RSI is still below 30 and has been ever since we went down here for about 2 weeks ago. So still no really good signs here for Ethereum, or actually for EOS here in the short term. And finally, let's have a look at the 8-hour chart. So what happened here, the last 8 hour, we did close outside of the Bollinger Band, and we've now made another new low here. And there's still no sign here of a short-term turnaround. And if we look at the divergences, we don't have any divergences coming up here. So we just made a new low here on the stochastics, and the same thing with the RSI. So overall here, there's more downside to come here. That's very likely for not only US and Ethereum, but many of the big cryptos here. So I want you to take advantage of this and try to short the market if you are into that kind of action. And myself, I'm using BitMEX for this. And the last thing I want to show you is the homepage, altcoinbus.io. Head over here and check out our latest stories. And there's one story here about Intel. They have a new patent which gives Bitcoin mining new hope. So make sure to check that out, and talk to you later. Goodbye.